Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the second hour of News and Views right here on Salam Media. It is exactly 10 after 9 o'clock South African time. We cross over to Palestine and we'll be talking with Palestinian journalist and activist based in the Gaza, Sajud Shnira. Lovely talking to you. Assalamu alaikum. And let's start off by looking at the issue. A story filed by the Israelis. They are saying that the West Bank and Gaza is the third most serious threat to Israel in the year 2023. Their military intelligence does not consider Iran the number one threat to the country anymore. So, would you understand why they've changed their tactic? And are not threatened by Iran any longer and putting the West Bank and Gaza third on the list?
Yes, actually, we can say that the main reason for this, to regard the West Bank and Gaza is the third serious, let's say, threat to what's called Israel, is the new Israeli government, which is will be led by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his colleagues, or the other officials he appointed in the government, and many international officials regarded this government as the worst government and what's called Israel, because it's a fascist, and it is based on violence, and this is actually will not be in Palestine in the Palestinians' favor, and they will not be silent actually, because they know what is the upcoming events there, and what will happen to them, especially that the Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of the government, or let's say of the incoming government, appointed fascist officials, or we can say leaders, as ministers of some fields and the related to the government. And actually this is even the Israeli community is not satisfied with this. So what about Palestinians? Of course, the matter is not we care, but the matter is that we know what is going to happen, and we know who the people are, beside Netanyahu, who are known of their racism, known of their hatred toward Arabs, especially Palestinians. So this is maybe because it will explode. I mean, the policies and the new laws that Ben Gvir Netanyahu and Smotrich have talked about, these laws maybe, and the policies explode the area, because it is so insane. The laws they talked about and they stipulated for in the incoming government are so insane, and many people international officials and international a newspaper, we can say, regarded these policies as leading to the darkness to the Israel future. So maybe for this reason, as the West Bank and Gaza will form the third the third threat to Israel, because they be silent, because they know what is going to happen, especially that in the last period in the West Bank there were many organized resistance attacks, and many individual resistance attacks that took place in what's called Israel, and they have so concerns toward this, because they know what is what is going to happen in the next days. And even the officials, Israeli officials themselves, and former president of Shanbite, and Yair Lapid himself is not satisfied of this government, because it is based on racism and extremism. So what about us as Palestinians, who are suffering from this occupation since more than 70 years? Of course, this will not pass, and the Palestinians will not make it pass, because I don't mean the government, but the policies they want to put or on Palestinians, and to practice these policies, outrageous
Oh,
policies. Palestinians.
Okay. All right, so Jude. Now, according to the Hayom newspaper, which is an Israeli newspaper, they citing global challenges being the most important threat to the country, or rather that they as a country will be facing in 2023. But surely the Palestinians will be facing the same threats: food shortages, inflation, um, unemployment, etc., etc. But despite all of that, they are still in a way better situation than the Palestinians, because they've usurped all of your lands or most of your lands. They've usurped all of your space. There's massive restrictions as far as education and employment and healthcare services are concerned for the Palestinian people. There are checkpoints. It's a nightmare just trying to go from one area to another area. You are treated like a criminal. Where and how do the Palestinian people face up to all of this? It must be absolutely horrendous.
So I didn't actually understand the question you want or the point you want, like a specific point.
This point is the same global issues that the Israelis will be facing are the very same challenges that the Palestinians will be facing
Yeah,
because of the war in the Ukraine, high food prices, um, and very especially for the Palestinian people, your issue to basic services, health care,
yes.
free access to move around as freely as you possibly can. So just look at the restrictions placed on the Palestinian people. And these people, these occupiers, have the nerve or the cheek to suggest that things are going to be difficult for them as Israelis. What about the hardship that the Palestinian people are undergoing?
You mean the hardships right now under the Israel occupation? Actually,
Absolutely.
yes, actually, it is not like new to talk about the hardships that we are facing under the Israel occupation, and especially that under the announcement of the incoming Israeli government, there are many laws that against the Palestinians, especially which the Ben Gvir law to execute or to we can say to stipulate a law that to execute the Palestinian detainees. And this is actually a very dangerous step toward the Palestinian detainees who are suffering a lot in the Israel occupation prisons. And actually, we can say that this is a fascist step actually, and it's paving the way to commit more and more outrageous crimes against the Palestinian detainees. Another one is that the this Ben Gvir, we can say Itamar Ben Gvir, the fascist person, has, we can say, I mean, on November, let's take this, take an example. On November 23, 2022, he called for a return to the policy of assassinations and tightening the screws on Palestinian detainees, which means that they want to tighten the situation in Palestine, to tighten the siege on the Gaza Strip, to it is not actually something new, but we are talking about something that they will add more than more than these outrageous policies. They are adding a new outrageous policies on against Palestinians. And yes, actually, this is
Let me ask you this question. The same in the same article, they are saying that the risk of instability in the West Bank and Gaza is the third most serious threat that Israel may have to deal with in 2023. Do you believe they're referring to something specific, or is it just the uprising of the Palestinians because of all of the years of oppression that they have meted out to the Palestinian people, that they realize perhaps, just perhaps, that the end is near as far as the occupation is concerned?
yeah. May they refer to both things. I mean, because they know that the Gaza Strip right now, like since 2007 until now, is governed by the Hamas movement. So like maybe they have concerns that Hamas will have a full control and will be like not just like a resistance movement, but as we can say, like a government that can govern the country. Another thing that they know, like I like mentioned before, that the resistance attacks has stepped up in the occupied Palestine. So they have concerns that these, like we can say, these resistance attacks may like could be like organized by from the Gaza Strip, from the resistance in the Gaza Strip. Maybe, I don't know, but this is what they have concerns from, because like I mean the government itself announced that right now Gaza and the West Bank are not two separate areas, they are one separate area, and they are united, the resistance is united, and this is what I want to say. I mean, I don't know
All
if,
right, my final question to you then, the final question for the morning.
yeah,
Leaders of the Israeli opposition parties met in parliament and issued a statement vowing to work together against the right wing, obviously, the right wing Israelis, the right wing religious government led by Benjamin Netanyahu. Is that a good thing for the Palestinian people or not? Or does it not matter which occupier is in power? The Palestinian situation will never change.
yeah. um Actually, as I told you, we don't care a lot toward this government, but this actually may be the in our concern, in our favor. Sorry, because I said that this new government is a fascist one. So what is gonna happen is more outrageous than the previous years, because we're talking about fascist characters or fascist officials who will be appointed in this government, who will were known of their of their racism. Even the Israeli community is not satisfied of characters like Ben Gavir, who was convicted of like, as they say, I mean, the Israel officials, as they claimed, that Ben Gavir was convicted of supporting like terrorist organizations. So if they are themselves, I mean, the Israeli community, if it is itself is not satisfied with this government, so of course, like we regard this is kinda useful for us, because we will like be avoiding characters that were known on in all its history of like bloodshed and of its hatred for Palestinians, even for any person who would who we can say doesn't believe in this in or agree with his ideology or with his thoughts. So he is like an enemy, not just for Palestinians, even for the Israelis themselves, because he's an
Okay.
extremist.
All right. Unfortunately, that's where we have to leave it. Sujud Shnira, a Palestinian activist and journalist, thank you indeed for your thoughts on the issue at hand this morning. It is exactly 9:24 a.m. South African time. We move on, and our next guest on the show is Gideon Chitanga. He's from Wits University. He is the research associate at the African Center for the Study of the United States. Do stay with us.